What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video, we're going to be finally finishing my off-road mini bike project. As you guys saw in the last video, got the frame all painted up, got the forks sitting up over here, got the rims and tires all painted up, so those are looking pretty good. Those should match pretty well in the black frame here. Everything's all dried up now, so I can actually start installing all the stuff on the bike. I think I'm going to do it in a kind of a sequence by just getting the forks and the rims and tires back on. Maybe to get the fenders on there just so we can kind of get an idea of what she's looking like. The engine and the skid plate will probably be the last thing, just because the engine weighs 40-50 pounds and I got to hook up a couple things to it, like the throttle cable and the kill switch. So I want to do that right on the side of the bike, and then I could just slide it right up in. I also might do like a little piece of rubber on the bottom just because it does vibrate a lot and I would like to kind of make it a little bit more comfortable to ride. I also do want to do a couple heat protectant, because I know the exhaust hits right here on the frame, and then where it comes out back here also sits on the frame right here. So maybe wrap those up a little bit of heat wrap just to protect the paint a little bit. And then I also ended up doing some gold tape on the bottom of the seat, just because the center exit runs right between and a lot of heat comes up around it, so kind of save the seat from burning in the future or melting. So don't need any fire. So I'm gonna start working on getting the forks all together, getting the fenders on there, getting the rims on there, so we can at least get a vision of what this thing's gonna look like soon. So I've been working away on this thing, getting some parts installed, got the forks installed, got the rims and tires, also slapped on the fenders there just because it's pretty simple. Everything's looking pretty good. Forgot to show you guys, I ended up chopping down this mount here in the front and smoothed that out, so looking pretty good. Can't even see it really. And I'm really happy with how this thing's coming together. I wasn't sure how the chrome fenders would look on the gloss back frame, but I'm starting to dig it. I think I'm just gonna leave it for now, see if it grows on me some more. If not, I just end up painting them the same silver as the rims. So I got the rear all finalized, got the brake disc on there, also got the sprocket all mounted up, so that's looking good, matching the wheel pretty well. So now I can just get the chain, get all the simple stuff like the brake caliper on there. I do want to slap the handlebars on there pretty soon, because they do have the throttle cable, brake cable, and kill switch on there. So I can get that all routed on the bike, get it all zip tied so all the cables are looking clean, especially going to the brake caliper here, because that one's got to go up and loop around because it's pretty damn long. So once that's all installed, I can actually start getting the motor installed, slap the seat on there, get the chain tensioner and the chain on there. I can start throwing the skid plates on there, and this thing should be pretty much ready to roll. What's going on, guys? So it's the next day now. My GoPro ended up dying on me, so I threw it on the charger, ended up doubling down on the bike, getting everything all finished up. I'm super happy with how this thing came together. Got a bunch of zip ties holding all the cables, riding around up in the top, so you can barely even see any of them, which is super nice. Everything's all connected up, got the throttle cable connected up, got brakes all dialed in, so those will actually work. Got some heat wrap on the frame here, right into the exhaust tip, so hopefully that'll at least save the frame from burning or future vibrations. That would be nice too. Got a little bit right here as well, right where the header's hitting the frame, so that's perfect. The only thing I had to change was my little chain tensioner design. Kind of had it like in a big L with the wheel on the top, so it ended up hitting the little bushing where the bolt goes through and holds it to the frame. So I ended up just moving the wheel up a little bit, and it's still touching a little bit, so I'm hoping that'll just clearance itself out. And if anything, I'll just keep an eye on it, redesign it if I need to. The only shitty part is, now that it's all done, it ends up being rainy weekend, where it's gonna be raining all day today, it's Saturday, and all day tomorrow, Sunday, so I won't really have any time to really test this thing out yet and actually get some good riding clips. So in the meantime, I'm gonna end up working on my little snorkel kit I wanted to do. So my plan is to at least have the filter come out through here and then kind of shoot like a little 90. So got this little piece all printed up. Should go right through the plate there, and then once the filter goes on top, it'll just sandwich it right in between the plate, so that'll at least hold that there. And then I got a little tube that should go from there down to the carburetor, so I'm gonna need a little adapter for that. Got that all printed up. I just got some panel bonder on it just to kind of heat these two pieces together and make sure they're solid. But got a little breather tube right there, got the choke hold down plate right there, and then it's just a big old 90 or 180 really. It kind of goes right on there, and it should just connect right up to this tube here. And then I might paint this up or wrap it in some sort of way just so it matches the bike a little bit better, because I know blues are just gonna stand right out once it's right in there. So I'm gonna start working on that. I do have a hole saw for the plate here, so I'm gonna go pulling off this plate, drilling it out with the big hole saw there so I can run this little piece through. I can start testing how much tubing I'm gonna need and get this all bolted up and actually have a snorkel on this thing. Still waiting for the filter to come in, so that should be here, I think, Monday. So once that filter comes in, I can actually take this thing for a rip. So to get you guys a good idea of my snorkel kit I'm building, got the 180-degree carburetor adapter all mounted up. It's got the little choke hold there, so ain't gotta worry about the lever going anywhere. Got the little breather tube to the valve cover there. It's got a nice little hole right in there, so it shouldn't have any problems with that. And then I'm just gonna take this blue tube here and shoot it up and connect it up to this piece here. Got the hole all chopped down, got my adapter in there, and it's super tight, so I ain't gotta worry about that really going anywhere at this point. But the only thing I didn't account for is the gas tank. So the adapter is aiming straight into the gas tank there, and it's not really enough room to get the tube on there. So I'm gonna redesign that piece so it kind of has a 45 still, but also has another 45 or 70 degree that shoots down, and then it can go right into the intake here, have a nice straight tube going right up to it, which would look really nice. And then once the filter's on there with a nice little 45, it should aim it right here, nice and level with the frame. So should look pretty good. So I'm gonna get to work redesigning this piece, get that all printed up, because that's gonna take about an hour or two, get that all done, and then I can finish up the snorkel kit. So I redesigned this piece here with the 45 with the straight shooting down that was aiming straight into the gas tank there. And I came up with the second piece. And it's the 45 with like a 70 degree shooting sideways. So once that was in there, it'd be shooting down towards the intake here. But I didn't account for this bar here, so once I tried to slip the tube on, didn't really have enough space to get the tube onto the end here in between the bar there, so that was a little too tight, so I ended up coming up with this piece. It's got the 45 right on there, so that's just shooting straight forward. So once I get that 45 air filter on there, it should give it like a full 90 and hopefully sit like level with the frame there. And then I extended the middle section there, so now I still have that 70 degrees shooting down. And it clears perfectly, so now I can get the tube right in there and it should shoot straight right into the carb there. Got my tube all cut out there, so I'm just gonna slip that up in there. And I just gotta get a couple clamps for each end so I can get that all clamped up. But I'm gonna toss that in there just so you guys can get an idea what I'm looking at. So I got the snorkel tube all mounted up. That's looking pretty good. Fits super tight up in there, so I'm pretty happy on that. I do need to get the hose clamps for the top and bottom so everything be mounted securely. I might put a little bit more tape here on the end here just so you don't really see the blue. I do have it wrapped in Tessa tape, which is like a cloth electrical tape that's fire resistant, so hopefully it'll save the tube from melting or disforming from the engine heat. Just waiting for the air filter to come in tomorrow, and then once that comes in, I should be able to pretty much rip this thing around. Don't really like driving it with a big old hole, so a bunch of dirt would be flying right into the intake, so I'm gonna wait on that. And I'm thinking with this new intake setup, I might need to jet it, since before I was just running the stock intake box, but just kind of chopped up a little bit. And it worked for the meantime, but I'm thinking with this new setup, since it's got a big old long runner, I'm gonna need to put some more fuel in it just to compensate for the more air. So I got some more jets sitting on the table over there that I'm gonna probably swap into it. So once I get the air filter on, I'm gonna test it out, get her tuned up, and I think I'm gonna load it up. Found some streets north of my city that are pretty undeveloped, so I want to kind of load this thing up in my truck and take it up there and test it out. I think I'm going to bring a whole box of tools just in case anything breaks, and if it does break, then I can fix it. If not, it'll be just a good time to have some fun. So I'm going to get this thing all fixed up tomorrow, and then I'll see you guys out there. What's up, guys? So I got the mini bike all finished up, got it loaded in my truck right here. I'm about to unload it. Got her out in a big open field section, so actually test out her off-road capabilities, see how she does. Got a lot of this is flat because now I can really test it up in the high RPMs with the snorkel and stuff, because I got the air filter on there now, and once I put the air filter on there with the snorkel, I ended up needing to put a bigger jet in it. So test her out, make sure I have no issues with breaking up in higher speeds. But if anything does happen, I do have a whole pack of tools. Even got some jets and my stock air filter just in case I need it. Even got an air pump in my truck just in case. So I'm gonna unload this thing, get you guys strapped up on my chest cam, and let's test this baby out. Get a little bumpy, that's for sure. scratch myself with the clutch. Oopsie. We good. Reposition this baby a little bit better for you guys. Ooh, what's over there? I like this little hole. This is fun. Road here left. Alright, so I tightened up the straps on my chest mount, so let's see if this thing will at least stay kind of reasonable for you guys to see. That was a nice little wheelie. Oh man, I want to light this up real quick. Damn, I wish you guys could see the rooster tail. I might have to put this thing on backwards. Yeah, I would say she eats up the ground pretty dang good. Perfect, exactly what I was looking for. Almost. Oh, don't dump her now. Alright, so my goal was not to cover the camera in sand or dirt. So let's see how this goes. Maybe it feels on. Trying to do this on a turn isn't the best idea, but we still gonna do it again anyway. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? This thing's a blast. I think that little spot right there is perfect. Oh, baby. Let's see if we can get some good rooster tails in this bad girl. Doing that. That was a pretty good flat little section. I kind of found out the move. I gotta get my ass off the seat if I want to go fast off-road. God, this thing cruises. This filter is on. I think I'm done. Let's see. Damage report. Looks like she's looking good. So as you guys just saw, I got some testing done on the off-road mini bike, and she held up amazing. Didn't have a single thing bend, snap, break, come loose, so super stoked on that. And it's starting to get dark now, so it's about time to start loading this thing back up in the truck and get her home. She's definitely filthy from all the weeds and dirt getting stuck up in the skid plate here, but this thing actually did a great job of protecting the bottom, because I heard a bunch of stuff rubbing up against the bottom, and then I heard a bunch of rocks hitting the front here, just bounce right off, so didn't have to worry about those hitting the motor or anything. The only thing I was really worried about was this carb adapter. I did start having a little crack form down the side, so I ended up just plastic bonding that back together, and she held up fine. I might just end up reprinting this a little bit thicker just to make sure it's stronger in the future, but I'm pretty happy with how this thing came out. I'm hoping in the future I can get it to a little bit more of a sandier spot, just so I can actually get some big rooster tails and test it out in some deep sand or maybe even mud. I don't really want to sink this thing, but I guess you gotta test it somehow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini bike series. I'm building my off-road mini bike. You're definitely gonna see more of it in the future coming up. And if you guys enjoyed, I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.